Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Mr. Tabo Amaupa again. I'm back as I promised yesterday that I'll be doing Module 5 Grade C today, which is titled The Threat or the Risk. A threat is a risk. This is what the module is about. So thank you for joining me once again. I just want to dish out what is in that module and what you can expect in your exams, as well as giving you the knowledge how to deal with a threat in case it happens where you work. Then you know how to react and go about it professionally. Right. The objective of this module is to ensure that the student understands the definition of a threat, exactly what it is, when can it happen, where does it happen, and how is it posed on you, in what form can it come, right? So in that instance, we're gonna be discussing about the factors that can influence the threat. Then we're gonna be discussing about the types of threats and the typical threats against the security officer, as well as the typical threats against the installation or company. Right. The aim of this module is to ensure that the student understands how a threat works and how it can be dealt with, as well as to understand his responsibilities whenever a threat takes place. Right. We're going to start now for starters with the definition of a threat. A threat is defined as any action or occupancy against a person, an organization, a company or installation that differs in intensity depending on time, location, product. That is what we call a threat. Right. Let's see now the factors that can intensify the threat or that can make it worse. Right. Since they said the threat is any action or occupancy against a person, an organization, a company or installation that differs in intensity depending on time, location, and product. That brings us to the factors that can influence the threat, which is simply number 1, time, 2, location, 3, product. Right. The threats does not come in one form or system or whatever. They differ. They differ in such a way that is the reason why now we are coming to the part where we have to discuss about the different types of threats. We've got 2 types. Number 1, internal threat. Number 2, external threat. So the first one, internal threat, it is a threat which is posed by the company working within that organization or company or installation. That's what we call internal. It's something that happens inside within the work organization, you understand, or the department, whatever. Then the second one, external threats, it is brought by people who come to that company or installation for services. Some might be rendering services, maybe repairs, maybe renovations, things like that. Some can be coming to try and purchase the products of that company, which means they will be needing the services of that company. So those are the people that can come in and they are likely to cause a threat. They are also a threat which comes from outside. That's why it's called an external threat. Right, let's look now at the examples of internal threats, which is the first type. We've got things like espionage, which means people can come and steal information, but they are working there, but they can also steal information and take it outside. Number 2, we've got theft. They steal from inside. I don't know how they'll be able to get out with whatever they've stolen, but they steal from inside. So theft is one of them. As well as we've got breaking and entering. somebody working there but organized with people who don't work there, then the place can be broken and then they can steal whatever they want to steal. That is number 3. Number 4, we've got strikes. People who work inside the company, when they strike, there's no production. No production, it's got a financial effect on the company. Right, and then number 6, it's not robbery. Robbery, they can't do it because they are working inside. They are well known, so they cannot perform that one unless they send other people. Right, so we've got espionage, theft, breaking and entering. Then we've got what else? Sabotage also comes in there. Right, so those are what it's examples only. There's a lot of them, but these are examples, because even things like forgery can be done by people that are working inside. You understand? So that's what we call the internal threats that are likely to happen inside, which is within the company organization. Then the second one is external threats. Those are the threats that are brought by people from outside, of which number 1 is still espionage. Number 2, also theft. They can do it from outside. Number 3, fraud. They can do it. Number 4, we've got breaking and entering, of course, but they can organize some people to come and do it because they know every corner there, or they can be there because they do it at night when nobody is there. Right. Then we've got robbery. People from outside can organize a robbery and rob a company without being recognized who they are. Right. Then we've got also sabotage fit in there. Those are the examples. It's a lot of them, because even forgery also can come in there. Arson also is one of them, you understand, from people from outside. So those are the 2 types of threats that exist or that we have. 1, internal, 2, external. Right. Let's go now to the part where we are going to be discussing about the typical threats against the security officer, and also the typical threats against the company or installation. Let's check now the difference, what is there now. Under typical threats against a security officer, we've got number 1, assault. Because they can see you are blocking their way, so they can meet you maybe on the street and assault you. Number 2, robbery. They can rob you also and take all your stuff, phones, money and everything, just to punish you, because you cannot let them do what they want to do wherever you are working. Number 3, they can murder you. They can kill you if whatever you are guarding is of like ultra value. It's a lot of money involved, like copper cables. A substation can carry copper cables which may be worth over 100,000, and they want that. They can kill you for that. They don't hesitate to kill, because this is crime for personal gain. Understand? Right. And then apart from that, if you are a lady, they can even rape you. Right. And then they can intimidate you, which is both genders, or they can bribe you. So those are what we call the typical threats against the security officer who is on that side on duty. Number 1, assault. 2, robbery. 3, murder. 4, rape. 5, intimidation. 6, bribery. Those are the typical threats against the security officer while on duty. Right. Let's go now to and check and explore about the typical threats against the company or the installation. Right. Typical threats against the installation or company are as follows. First one, we got industrial espionage. 2, sabotage. 3, robbery. 4, arson. 5, trespass. 6, after trespass, what comes? 6, it's vehicle hijacking. Right? Then 7, it's trespassing. Those are the 7 typical threats against the company. Right. Any of those things can happen for a company. People take key information about a company which can enable them to produce the same products in big bulk and sell maybe to wholesalers. They will become manufacturers. That's why they call it industrial espionage, which means you'll be going into an industry with the information that you have stolen. So it becomes industrial espionage. Let's say you take a recipe from canola or sunflower to make cooking oil. Then you go and open your own, which is what is happening. A lot of people that used to work for Willoton Oil and Cake Mills in Pietermaritzburg, where those were the original creators of cooking oil made from sunflower and peanuts. So all the Indians that were in charge, they ran away with information on how to process cooking oil. That is why we have a lot of funny cooking oil brands that are flowing in the market now and at a cheaper price. Although they can't make it originally like canola, there's something that is missing on the information that they stolen. That's why their fish oil is cooking oil is like, it's got funny colors and stuff. You understand? That is a typical example of industrial espionage. Theft of producing in a grand scale. That's how it is. Right. Then number 2, we got sabotage. People the company also is at the risk of being sabotaged at any given time, because a lot of people actually envy if the company is thriving, how its stature, everything. They envy that, then they can organize so that they can sabotage you. And number 3, it's robbery. People can come either wearing masks, balaclavas, or even directly because you don't know them, and they rob you off. Understand? Then that is robbery, which is number 3. Number 4, arson. Somebody maybe out of jealous or spite come to burn the place without you knowing. You understand? And then number 5, we've got trespassing. People who come, like they say they want to make a shortcut to wherever they want to go behind that place or something. That's why a lot of companies, they display that board which says trespassers will be prosecuted. No trespassers. It's actually a symbolic safety sign with a prohibitory sign, meaning to say they don't want trespassers. They fear that people, if I allow them to trespass, they won't be going for trespass. Then they will end up ripping you off. Right. And then we got vehicle hijacking. Vehicle hijacking, our products are on the road. As usual, hijackers are always there looking for stuff. They take and then they go with the vehicle, take off the goods and burn the truck. They are getting hijacked like on a daily basis. We all know about this. And then lastly, we've got that's trespass, arson, vehicle hijacking, robbery, sabotage, industrial espionage, then what else? Housebreaking. People can come and do housebreaking. Those are the 7 typical threats against the company. Right. Let's come now to where we're going to talk about countermeasures against the threat. If there is a threat and you realize that there is a threat here, what do you do? What measures do you take so that it cannot be more intense, right? You have to observe and report any suspicious objects, parcels, people, and vehicles. You have to, because that's when you're going to see maybe the actions, behavioral actions, to say there's an intent to do this, that, and the other. You understand? Right. And number 2, report all loopholes to your supervisor immediately. If you see there's a weakness in the security system, report it so that it can be rectified, so that you save the whole installation from being under threat. All right. Then you must know how to use your equipment, firearms, everything. You must know your emergency numbers. You must know emergency procedures in case there is something that happens, which we were doing when we were doing rolling emergency, we were doing bombs and stuff. Right. All those immediate action drills, which you did in rolling emergency, you must know them, because that is what makes you ready to defend the site whenever a threat arises. Right. And then if you receive threats or intimidation or bribery or they try to extort you, report to your superiors. Do not listen to them when they say, no, if you dare report it, then you're going to see. Do not listen to them. Report, and then be prepared to suffer the consequences, even if it means you will be removed from that site and shifted to another site, as long as you have saved the day. So you have to report everything to the supervisor. And then do not approach a suspect in a large group, because you won't succeed. Never try to apprehend a suspect in a large group, and avoid confronting large groups, because it's dangerous. All of them can, you understand, come on you. They will pounce on you at one time, and you'll be overpowered, and then it won't work. And you cannot arrest a suspect, even if you can, but he is belonging to a large group or is moving with a large group. What you must do, you call your supervisor, you call your control, and then you call for backup. And then after that, then you can now approach with your backup so that they can help you to arrest the suspect. That is all about the threat or the risk. So that's what I had for you today. All right, the exam is like this. Question 1, list. Question 1 is talking about the factors that can influence the threat, right? So it says list 3 factors that can influence the threat for 3 marks. Number 1, time. 2, location. 3, product. Question 2 says list 5 internal threats. Right. The 5 internal threats are sabotage, theft, robbery, strikes, what else? Breaking and entering. Those are the 5 internal threats, those ones. Then we come now to the third question, which says list 5 typical threats against the security officer. 1, assault. 2, robbery. 3, murder. 4, rape. 5, intimidation. 6, bribery. Just choose 5 because the question is asking for 5. Then we go to the 4th question, which says list 7 typical threats against the installation or company, which is number 1, industrial espionage. 2, sabotage. 3, robbery. 4, arson. 5, trespassing. 6, vehicle hijacking. 7, housebreaking. That is all for today under Module 5, Grade C, which is titled The Threat or the Risk. Thank you very much for watching my video today about this module. We're going to meet again tomorrow. We'll be doing occupational safety. We are almost done, because my aim is just to go to Grade B before December. Then I can start A and other modules which are coming for the rest of the grades. I'm doing also CIT, armed response, firearm, right? Firearm, I'm only giving knowledge of the Firearms Control Act of 2000, which is the theoretical part. Practically, you have to go to a shooting range and then deal with the experts there. Me, I'm only dealing specifically in theoretical. That's why I always try to give scenarios and imaginations. But when you go to do practicals, then you meet the real thing, which is exactly in line with what I teach here. So thank you very much. I'm glad I still have people following me. My aim is just to give you the knowledge so that when you write these tests, you find it easier. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. See you in the next video.